name is Terry. Welcome to this video. Uh, it's going to be about Meteora and capturing bullish opportunities there. Moonshot. Moonshot is a launch pad administered by Deckscreener that allows developers to launch a coin choosing the option of listing on Meteora versus Radium, which is typical of pump fund related launches. We'll talk about the advantages surrounding a Meteora launch, why we're targeting those types of meme coins and tools that will enable you capture the best of them in the course of this video. I'll quickly be checking the state of the stream to ensure it's well running. Then we will just a moment. Hello? Okay, so it's currently I'm just checking the other platforms where it's streaming on. Uh, let's see. By the way, if you found Web3 wikis on any socials, consider on this video, consider sharing the video. Okay, so let's see. Let me add. Let's see. Just a moment, please. So this is Web3 wikis on YouTube. Let me add some information to the tweet. Tools I'll be featuring. Just a moment. Wow. Apologies. Um, okay, so let's get started. This is Moonshot. So this is an alternative to Pump Fun. For those who want to launch a coin, it's as simple as Pump Fun, the process of launching a coin. You click on launch your token, but you have two options unlike Pump Fun, referring to the DEX where the token will eventually bond or graduate to. Of course, you can choose the Radium option, but the issue with Radium is when your token bonds there is no revenue generation for the project. Uh, Neither does the dev have an attributed allocation to use in furthering the project. Generally, the dev will have to buy a portion of the supply and thus no incentive to further the project post launch. Most devs will launch one. If it succeeds, they will jump onto to another one or replicate their first success, creating a meme coin environment that's not very friendly, filled with a lot of prospective rugs. Now, if you choose to launch on Meteora, Meteora is another DEX. In both cases, when the bonding happens, the LP is burned. But in the case of Meteora, you continue to earn fees, both the creator of the token and the top 50 holders before the bonding took place. So of the fees generated, 20% will go to the creator and 70% will be shared amongst the top 50 holders. Now, this creates a prospect for you if you find a potentially bullish token, moonshot related token that bond early, because even with as low as $50, even as with as low as $20, it may be possible to take a top 50 position with a new token launch on Moonshot. Now, an advantage also of Moonshot related launches is that they automatically have a profile on Deckscreener, considering that this is a platform administered by Deckscreener. If a token that launches on Pump Fund ends up bonding onto Radium, they will need to be interested in the project enough to shell out, say, $300 to get their profile updated on Deckscreener. Now, what do I mean by profile update? If you click here, you will see that this profile is updated with all the socials. But for pump fund related launches that end up on Radium, the programmer will end up requiring to pay $300 to Deckscreener to have this update. But for Moonshot related launches, they have that updated by default. So that's a positive. Now, generally, there is an associated traction in the event that you update your profile, the profile of your token on Deckscreener. So it becomes perceived that you're a serious dev, you have intent for the longevity of the project compared to those who cannot afford to update their socials. Moonshot related devs don't have to worry about that, which is a positive. Okay, so knowing all this, what are we looking into? Though moonshot related launches have not been popular in recent times compared to Pump Fund, they are growing in popularity with this newfound knowledge. I mean, this new, yes, this knowledge that has been relayed so far. So, right now, people are actively searching for prospects out of moonshot. And over time, that will continue to be the case. Now, if we attempt to search here, you will see that there is also additional marketing by Deckscreener for moonshot related launches. Considering it's their tool, for every search query here, you will see featured here is a moonshot category highlighting, uh, you know, tangible meme coin projects that have launched out of uh, Moonshot. Now, the most recent one, which launched and managed to accrue 531,000 in fees, is this project called Dev. If you scroll down here, you will see that it's 1 day, 19 hours old, yet have been able to gather this amount in fees, 531K. Around more than 100,000 of this has gone automatically to the dev, while the top 50 holders have shared around 400,000 or so. Okay, now speaking of top 50 holders, these are the holders here. And at the moment, the valuation of the top holder here is in the realm of 500,000. The next to him is 400,000. Yet they've not sold, making for a stable chart. You will see it rose, and typical of pump fund related launches, they dump tangibly, but this has maintained a sideways chart since the first uprising, with large holders still holding. The reason is because they will share in perpetuity any fees generated by this project, which has turned out a large project at 13 million market cap. There will be many other similar projects going forward. Now, the interesting thing is that it may be possible for someone whose holdings is now valued at, say, 100,000 to have gotten an early entry into this token even with a $50 budget. How so? Because, of course, this token launched out of Moonshot and was once at as low as a 4,000 M cap. Now, if someone bought, say, was able to buy, say, 0.5% of the supply with $50 and is gets a second entry maybe after the dev, it's also possible for these types of tokens not to be bought by the dev at all, because they know they are going to be getting a cut in fees, so they may not bother about even purchasing a portion of the supply. Now, if we look here with 97 holders, if you scroll down, you will see that, wow, cannot scroll to the, but you will see that top 30 is just requiring $289. Of course, it can be way less than that. That $289 may have bought the token earlier than now at 25K market cap, having spent, say, $50. The valuation grows, his position in the top 50 is maintained and stuff like that. So, yes, I don't know if I'm articulate enough. Now, the point is, how do you capture these early stage moonshot related projects effectively and securely? And generally, I would use this tool, BullXDoio. This should be your default DEX when dealing with the DeFi space on multiple chains. It features 6 chains at the moment and is about to feature 7, considering it's incorporating Tron. Now, that said, it has an entire portal dedicated for moonshot launches as well as pump fund launches, and it gives you the luxury of being able to execute a quick buy, assuming you find a token of interest here, thereby giving you a very early position because of the speed of a quick buy compared to buying directly from Moonshot using your wallet. That's a very slow process. So BullX should be your hangout when dealing with moonshot related launches. BullX also gives you sophisticated filters that enables you carry out default due diligence. So first off, you can decide to hide pump fund related launches here to focus on moonshot related launches, and then tighten these filters here so that the display only reflects prospective bullish meme coins. For example, you may be interested in a token where the top 10 holders don't dominate the supply. This will give you a good entry into the token, in a top 50 position. Now, or you may decide that only tokens or early stage tokens in this case, with at least one social is on display in this category. Now, this portal is divided into 3 categories: the new creations category, about to graduate category, and graduated category. Graduated category refers to tokens that have already bonded to Meteora or Radium. It will be interesting too. I will have to suggest this to the team if there is a filter to indicate tokens that have selected the Meteora option in the course of deployment, or the Radium option. So that's a good filter to have. Okay, so in the about to graduate category, these are tokens that have gained a measure of traction and are nearing the threshold for bonding. Generally, the threshold for bonding is a market cap of around 69,000. You'll see the market cap here is 32, 40, 41K. So these have a stronger prospect of bonding and gaining, the additional publicity that a listing on Meteora brings. Okay, now each category has its own filter portal, meaning that you can modify the display here or personalize it. You can also do that for the display here, and same here. Now, people have different strategies. Some may want a very early entry, considering they want to take a top 50 spot. So they may use filters here to tighten the parameters for safety, considering that with quick buy situation, you want to have preset due diligence. There is no time to be able to do due diligence in the course of a quick buy. You have more luxury of doing due diligence when you are in the about to graduate category, but then the requirement for entering top 50 position becomes higher. Like, let's look here, 122 holders. If you are to scroll down, maybe top 50 at this stage for this token, assuming this is the top 50 position, is in the realm of $93, compared to a top 50 position where you spent maybe $30. Okay, I did see one token recently where you can have got your top 50 position with $33 purchase. Okay, this is already at a 32K market cap. So depending on your strategy, you may want to target new launches to gain entry. Now, altogether, you are safer if you are, even in the event that a dev sells, if you have a position just after the dev, the prospect of losing tangibly is minimal, because of the bonding curve situation. The price iterates uh, per buy. So if you bought after the dev, even if the dev decides to dump, it won't have much impact in terms of losses. So let's say top one, top two, top three position could be a good entry point. So some people in their strategy may not even bother about the doing due diligence or the ticker. They'll just ape in as long as they can afford to do so very early on, which you have the luxury of being able to do with this quick buy button on um on BullX. Now, I don't know if I have enough funds at the moment to show you how a quick buy takes place, but let's see. Let's just put here 0.001. I think 0.0, no, let's put 0.05. I don't know what the valuation of this is, so because I don't think I have much balance, but just to experiment how a quick buy looks like. So we'll target a very a token that just launched. Okay, so let's make this smaller. Okay, 0.00, I mean 0.01. So you can make it, you can set that here such that if you decide to quick buy this token as soon as it launches, you'll be able to get in. Uh, you'll be able to purchase with this amount. Okay, so we'll just wait here for a new token launch. So you see, in these two cases, the dev actually sold. So let's see. Now, what I was talking about is there won't be that much impact in the event of the dev selling, as long as your position is in the top two, just after the dev, say top uh, second position or third position. Now, thinking of it, who know, I would think that a good strategy will be to filter out tokens where the dev bought, because in a situation like this, if a dev is wary of the prospect that Meteora brings, there will be no need to there will be no need to even buy the supply. So it's very possible that a good parameter when it comes to moonshot related launches is uh, a situation where the dev doesn't even buy or buys a very tiny amount, because if the dev from the get-go buys 2.97 sol, you can envision that he will likely dump, because with this buy he will raise the M cap to say like 5,000. It's currently at 3.8 thousand. Then have typically, if is any type of serious dev, will even wait a bit before dumping it, but some of them are just bizarre. you know I don't know, the profit made here is extremely tiny. We're talking bought at 2.97, then sold at 2.99, maybe $10 worth of profit. There's no relevance to such action, but of course we have devs as such. So maybe a good parameter will be, especially when it comes to moonshot related launches in the new creation category, is to filter the dev holdings such that the dev has, at the worst case, a very small amount, or doesn't even buy at all. That may be a good parameter. Now, of course, you will need to understudy this with different filters till you tighten it enough to your fitting. So for me, that's one strategy that I would experiment with. Now, in my case, I learned via experimentation. I don't mind the any resulting financial loss, as I believe learning is the ultimate earning. As is obvious here, the frequency of launches when it comes to pump to moonshot is not as high as when it comes to pump fun. Just based on just two filters here, you will see that no new token has come in recently. So let's remove this, for example, and apply. Then you'll see the frequency has changed. Make America great again. That's so popular. So such a token I would skip. Okay. But one filter I'm seeing that may be of relevance here is tightening this. Let's say I put a minimum percentage 0.1%, because I would favor a situation where the dev doesn't even buy the supply. It will tell me that the dev knows. Wow, this looks okay. It will tell me that the dev knows about Meteora. It will tell me that considering now there is no filter to determine which is bonding to Meteora or versus Radium, it will tell me that it's likely a Meteora related launch, considering the dev has not almost not bought much of the supply and is relying on revenue generation from fees. So in my case, I may tighten this place. No, not minimum, maximum. So if I put this, it it will create a situation where only the tokens where the dev has bought lower than 0.1% of the supply will show up here. Now, if I apply that, wow. So it's also displaying older tokens. So this is a 2 minutes old token where the dev has sold. So that filter and all this sold. Okay, so you may need to incorporate an additional filter where the minimum age or the maximum age of the token is, say, let's put 1 minute. Okay, so this dev sold in. Now, this is also a suggestion to the team. It will be good to have the ability to filter in such a case that the dev sold situation is exempted. But based on the filter that I have now, I would consider this a good filter, although the frequency of posts showing up here may be lower, but anytime a token shows up here, it will constitute a prospect. Now, if I will more likely quick buy that such a token compared to just or in my own strategy when dealing with the new creation category. Okay. Now, if I remove this limitations, okay, so for at this stage, you will need to wait, be present on the screen and wait for a new entry. Okay. Now, okay, so one just came in. The dev has 0. I'm executing a quick buy on that one, although I didn't I did click on it on time. But let's now do further due diligence on this. Oh, wow, wow. So I've removed the filter did not work for this one because the minimum is 1 minute. No, I think I removed it already. Even when I put the filter, the minimum. So this token, although the dev has sold, this is not the situation where I want, but I'm on a slight profit as we speak. With BullX, you have the luxury of selling with limit, or you can even preset advanced sell situation that auto takes profit and stop losses. Okay, and you saw how fast the purchase took place. But this is not the scenario that I was looking for. So this is a learning experience altogether. Like, it should be possible to create a filter here where the minute the age you can put in. I don't know if that will work. Let's see. If you put in 0.1, I don't know if such a filter will work because here it's in terms of minutes. So if you put 1 minute here, it doesn't apply because the dev can buy lunch and just sell immediately. So there should be an additional filter here that exempts those situations, which I'll be suggesting to the team. Now, if I was to put 0.1 maximum token age, 0.1 minutes, and apply, I don't know, if it's actually working. Okay. But you saw how a quick buy situation is. Although we didn't have the perfect scenario, I can decide to sell my allocation here. But based on my buy, we're talking just $1 or $2 buy. Let's say that there is a CTO event that happens with this token. Someone picks this token up based on the ticker name and creates a community surrounding it and decides to build it up. You will see my position here. Even with a $1 buy, I'm top uh, top 3. Let's say this is the contract. Top 1 requires $27, top 2 $13. I am top 3. Okay, now if I'm top 3 and let's say there is a $1 spend here, I may be able to maintain a top 50 position as this token grows, because when this token, if I have a $1 spend here, when this token is 39,000 M cap, the valuation of my holdings will be $30. So I'll still be maintained in the top here, even though some other people buy. I may still be able to maintain my position uh, in the top 50 when the token bonds, just based on my early entry. Okay, now this is not a full-fledged tutorial video. We'll get to that in another stream. I just wanted to create awareness that you can now trade sophisticatedly using BullX Moonshot related tokens. I'm also learning of some of the things missing in terms of filters that can be added to the BullX platform, which I'll be suggesting to the team. Okay, now if we go back here, you can apply strategies for the about to graduate category. Now, as is obvious, in this category, you will need a higher amount of equity to be able to enter here into the top 50 position. Mind you, once you have the top 50 position at the time of bonding, the snapshot is taken before bonding. So all the top 50 holders before the token bonds will benefit from the fees. So it's not post Meteora launch, it's before. Okay, so here you have the luxury of doing due diligence. You may set filters here for what you want on display here, or you may look here for those that are, let's say, lower, slightly lower caps. Let's pick this one, 14K M cap. The dev is holding just 4%. Now, an interesting parameter that I see of relevance here is where the dev is holding a minimal amount of the tokens. Once again, it's going to be a relevant filter here, even though this, the tokens here have grown. Now, the reason is because, for example, this one, it tells you the dev has sold, and if it's not a recent sell, maybe there is a CTO situation here. So for this one, for example, you may want to look at when the dev sold. If it was before 14K market cap, maybe way earlier, you will know that a prospective CTO situation is in occurrence here. Who knows, maybe the dev sold very early on. Just a moment. By the way, this is a 3-hour old token. Okay, so a lot of cells here. Just a moment. So see where the dev sold here. Now, the dev sold here, but the token has so this was like 6K M cap. It's currently 14K. So this one, I may decide to further my research on it. Now, interestingly, top 10 holders are holding 28%. Not too bad. You may have a chance at being in top 50 here with a $50 expenditure, even as we speak, or slightly less. How do we establish this? Let's say we go to the contract address. Oh, but this is likely going to launch on Radium, or is it not? No, no, no. Wow, sorry. Apologies, apologies. We didn't create a filter. This is not a Meteora launch. This is a pump fund launch. So what I'm saying doesn't apply here. It applies more in the, assuming we've incorporated a filter here to only display moonshot launches, which we didn't do. That's actually a pump fun launch that will end up on Radium. So I forgot to add this filter. So at this stage, it's like this token now, zero dev holding, but a large percent is concentrated amongst a few. Of course, you can use filters to eliminate this if you desire to. There should be filters for insiders as well. That will be a good filter. Filter for insiders. You can improvise though. And so if you want to exempt this, you can use this. Apply. So you see it's tightened now. Now this is 5K, 23 hours, doesn't have enough traction to want to pay attention to it. Okay. So let's assume we remove this and we do manual due diligence. I may decide to exempt this, but let's look at, for this category, I would favor a token where the dev has sold and the remainder of the supply is not so concentrated in a few. Or it may be concentrated in a few, which may favor gaining a top 50 position. So I'd likely do further due diligence in my learning, because this one, top holders, is just 18. So if the supply is concentrated in the hands of a few, you may be able to get top 50 position just on the basis of a small buy. So you see this, even if you put a $1 buy here, you'll be in top 50 position. If you can afford to lose that, and they end up doing the work, and this ends up launching, you are already in top 50 position. So interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff. So while some people may overlook this, I may be interested. Apologies for that. Just a moment. I may be interested in this token if I expand my due diligence and realize that, okay, there is community effort towards this token, which doesn't seem to be the case here. I may put in a $1 expenditure, you know, and not be afraid of losing it just to enter the top 50 position. Now, I may also decide to look at the wallets, the top wallets. Who are they? Are they whale somewhere? Why will someone buy, uh, 2,000 worth of the token and still hold it? Is there something here? Considering the dev has sold, and if the dev is one of these wallets, I don't think there will be any interest to stick around here with these big amounts if they've sold. You never know what's possible with this insider situation. So in my case, I would not underlook this. I would still go ahead and check these wallets. Are they whales and some to just speculate on whether they may have some insider information. This is a good learning experience for me. And I'll continue to iterate this learning in the next live stream. I'll be better off. I would also have done some experiments to see what filters are the best. So this generally they look like small wallets, but I wonder why they have, you know 1,000 and so tied into this token, and that's enough to pique my interest. Let's see. So this one bought 200. No, let's see this one. Bought 1,000, sold 0, still has his holdings. Hmm. So this type, I will further check. I'll be checking the Telegram, see what's going on there. I'll just leave this one open. Who knows? With Meteora, the dynamics may be different, and such tokens that is concentrated in the hands of a few may be of relevance. Even if they end up dumping, as long as it bonds and fee generation starts, and you can afford to lose your $1 for a top 50 position, it may be a worthy move. As we see here, you don't even need $1 to be uh, in a top 50 position. So I can afford to put an amount here, the very tiniest amount, and still end up trading this. Mind you, you can tweak fees in case you don't, you're putting in a small amount so that you don't end up spending too much in fees on a small amount. So I think the fees are good as is. And let's say I was buying 0.01 again. So the fee expenditure here will be 0.5, which is affordable. Of course, you can adjust the parameters if you so desire. This will still work. You have all those luxuries when using BullX. So if I click buy, a buy order is put up, and you will see my position here, 1.35. I'm already in top 10 or so position. Now, of course, some people can dominate, come in with big buys and relegate my position. But the prospect that I maintain a top 50 position, because as they buy, the FDV rises, the prospect that I end up in top 40 at the end of the bonding with a $1 purchase exists. Interesting stuff. So a lot of learning so far. I will be upgrading this in another live stream because I'm finding some interesting stuff here. with respect to Meteora. Now, additional due diligence you can do is perhaps on Meteora itself. So maybe you can, I mean, on Moonshot itself. What if you copied the contract here? Because sometimes you gain insight into like the sentiment of the community, if there has been like rugs associated with the dev and all that in the chat area of the token. And it does have a, there is a chat area for Moonshot, um Moonshot related launches here, although it's not like commenting, it's chat, so it's not very exciting. There is not much chatting going on here, so the only option now will be the Telegram. Interesting, more information here. Let's see the top traders here. Okay, so the dev bought 392. Generally, like I said, I wouldn't want a Meteora launch. If it's a pump for launch, although with such a buy, I would speculate that there will be a dump, but even worse for a Meteora launch. There is no need for the dev to even buy this amount if they're aware of what Meteora brings to the table, except this is was created to bond on radium, which we can find out. Although it would be better if there was a filter for that right on BullX. Now, how do you find out if the dev in this for this token selected to bond on radium versus Meteora? Let's see if we can find out here. So this one, it looks like Meteora, I would assume so, because of this logo here. This radium. Let's verify. Let's see here. No, not this one. This is the logo of Meteora. So I'm assuming that that token selected to launch on Meteora considering this logo. But if we want to be assured of that, so you see here Moonshot considering this logo here. But to be assured, because I think by now most people will be launching on Meteora when it comes to Moonshot, because when you click on launch your token, I don't think there is a way they will escape this, except they are targeting popularity and prefer the radium route on the basis of popularity. But by default, it's Meteora. Generally, people will just come here, try to launch a token, not even mind the default. But even if they are conscious and they see this proposition here, they will likely choose this. So I'll assume that most of the launches at the moment on on here is bonding to Meteora. So you see the logo here, so we are correct. So all these are going to Meteora. Let's see if there's anyone here going. Okay, so you see this is radium here. And if we expand this, wow, where is it? So I just want to expand it just to be sure. Okay, so this is radium. Okay, so you see the logo here is radium. Okay, so that said, it's obvious that most of the token launches currently on Moonshot go through Meteora. Now, that said, I would favor a dev that doesn't buy the token. I would consider such a dev aware of the possibility of earning revenue long term on the basis of a Meteora launch, to tell me they've done some due diligence and there is the prospect that it's a solid project trying to target fee generation and longevity of the project at the same time. Because if a dev targets fee generation, they would likely want longevity. Okay, so let's look at this very quickly. First, I want to see if, although it has been dumping, but let's see what's happening here. So not much here. So in case the ticker doesn't show up here, you can go this route. I don't know if why it's not showing up, but you can improvise with that. Hmm. Why is it not showing up? Uh, did we copy it correctly? So don't copy from here, copy from here. Okay. Okay. Uh, so this type, like $30 will be sufficient. Uh, let's see. Moonshot. I'm just checking because of the name, the relatability, because of Moonshot and stuff like that. Okay, just a moment. Let's see the trade. So the dev is still here. Now I may gain and I may decide to enter this one, but I wouldn't favor this situation. I'd prefer one. Let's assume this token. I see the dev doesn't did not even buy at all, because you have the option of skipping buys when it comes to Meteora launches. I may just favor that, but it's up for experiment. When I experiment that 2 or 3 times and see it doesn't work, then I may discard it and see it as an option that will not work. Now, it's not. I'll also favor a situation where the dev buys just a small amount, which may be the case here, considering the valuation of this has grown. So maybe he bought, say, $100 worth, but I'll prefer way smaller. You know, wow. Interestingly, they've incorporated the quick buy button here, meaning that you can use this to quick buy. Okay, so I think we've seen enough for our first video of this particular series. You've also seen the power of Moonshot, of Pump Vision by BullX. Now, in the event that you quick buy, you can also preset an auto sell here to protect you immediately after a quick buy. There will be a trigger that quick sells, in the event of uh, drastic volatility. So if you use the advanced feature here, now coming soon is also the dev sell feature that will copy trade the dev in the event of a sell. Now, not every dev sell is bad, so maybe a dev buy option is also good. Sometimes a CTO situation occurs, although that's more popular on Pump Fun. Uh, so you can auto set this. You can, but there's going to be an updated version of BullX coming soon that is just so powerful in terms of features. It's going to incorporate advanced DCA, enabling you by different price points. If you want to gain insight into that feature, BullX has an annex specifically for Tron, which is going to merge with the main BullX. By the way, you need the invite codes to be able to join this. So the invite codes will be in the description. For BullX, you can just go to bullx.io/web3wikis. You'll also get 10% off your trading fees. You need a Telegram account to be able to get onboarded and start using it immediately with the invite. And and also, you, on the basis of your volume, you get the airdrop. But speaking of features, some of the new features that will be coming to BullX you can already find on BullX Tron. This allows you to capture bullish opportunities on Tron coming out of Sun Pump. And you'll see one of the features here is this advanced DCA. Both a dev and individuals can use this. Imagine buying the charts all the way down at different price points, or doing so per hour, per minute, to generate a healthy chart. A dev can use this instead of all the dumping, instead of renting bump bots and spending unnecessarily. They can do it organically here. You can also do it across multiple wallets so that the chart is healthy, than seemingly, monopolized or concentrated. You just have so much luxury. This is the most advanced dex there is and should be your default dex when dealing with DeFi. Considering BullX main features 6 chains, when they merge Tron, we're talking 7 chains. Now you can use this for other chains. By the way, it's not only for Solana and meme coins. You can explore other chains such as Ethereum and the opportunities they present with all the analytics, default security, and all that. So have it handy and gain early access basically to it. I think we have covered enough in this video. I don't know if there are, I don't even know if there's any interaction with the, let's see, with the video. Wow, my video is not even showing up here. Interesting stuff. Wow. Hmm. I wonder if the video ended already. Okay, if you have questions, you know where to reach me. Of course, you can reach me here, but in particular, airdrop C will do. It's your avenue to a variety of airdrops, hand selected by me. You can subscribe to airdrop reminders, contact me using this contact form, and my socials are on the sideboard here. Now, if you were to join or start using BullX, whether it's BullX Tron or BullX Main, your early access codes are here on the pinned. There's an article with early access. If you want comprehensive tutorials for both BullX Main and BullX Tron, you just click on that, and very lengthy tutorial with all the videos you need to get started on both platforms. Interestingly, I don't know why the videos are not showing. The video is not showing here. I'll be ending this now. Take action. Stay awesome. Subscribe to Web3 Wikis on all socials.